Hey everybody, welcome back to the Planeswalker Coach channel. I'm your host, Paladin Robin. Folks, thank you for joining us. Today we'll be looking at this Planeswalker here. This Planeswalker is the Aetherspark. This is a very interesting Planeswalker, and you know what? We're going to get into some of the quirks on this thing. But before we do that, we want to thank Webcore. Webcore has been great to us. They've given this one here to us so that way we can do this review for you guys and then kind of let you guys know what's going on with this thing. And then that way you can decide for yourselves if you want this one or not. All right, so, yep, thank you, Webcore. You guys are great. Folks, this one is a very interesting Planeswalker. And you know what? We'll get into some of the quirks on this thing, and we'll kind of flesh all that out for you. All right, first of all, let's start with this 106. 106 is the life points here. That's a little low, I think. You know, not that I like ones that are higher, but I think the lower ones like this, you're going to want to have with maybe Planeswalkers that are a little bit stronger. This one is a little low because this I don't think is going to be one of the strongest Planeswalkers that you'll come across. This is a decent Planeswalker, but one that's going to require you to have pretty much the right cards in your set. And if you're missing a few of these select cards, I'm going to say that it might be a little bit more difficult for you to build a really solid deck around this one. But anyway, you got 106 here. The next thing we're going to talk about are these mana bonuses. You'll see that we have +2 across the board for everything. That's kind of cool. What I would probably do to maximize this, obviously, is use something like the Sunken Citadel card. That's a really nice card. I think some of you knew I was going to go there, but you know what? That's no surprise, just because that's going to be a really good one to add to the mana bonuses for everything here, and I'd suggest doing that. That's a really nice card for the deck with the Aetherspark. Okay, let's take a look at this. This one is Clean Slate. It's its passive ability. It says the Aetherspark can't gain loyalty with loyalty gem matches. At the end of your opponent's turn, if you don't control a creature with the holding the Aetherspark emblem, your first creature gains the holding the Aetherspark emblem. At the beginning of your turn, if you don't control a creature with the holding the Aetherspark emblem, you cannot activate loyalty abilities this turn. Alright, so you can see why I say this one is kind of quirky. You'll see here that you don't gain loyalty with the loyalty gem matches. You will gain loyalty by matching regular colored gems, right? Maybe like a 3 red or 3 green kind of thing like that. You'll still gain from that, but you're not going to gain loyalty from the loyalty gem matches. So that kind of impacts it a little bit. The rest of this part here kind of impacts this Planeswalker even more. And you can see what I mean, right? If you don't have a creature that has this Aetherspark or holding the Aetherspark emblem, then you're not able to use any of these abilities here. Okay, so that's kind of huge. You have to have a creature out. It has to have that ability, and then these things will unlock for you. Okay, so that's super important. Just based on that, I would definitely make sure that I build a deck with 3 creatures or maybe 4 creatures, or maybe some sort of a mixture of creatures and tokens. And the real bottom line here is this, that you're going to need to have creatures out, whether they be tokens, whether they be actual creature cards, but you're going to have those out in order to be able to use some abilities here. And that's an important part of this Planeswalker. I would definitely say that that's going to be something that's key with the way we build decks. So keep that in mind. You're going to want to make sure you have some creatures. Okay, here's the first one for 0. And if you're looking at your screen, you'll probably notice that all of them are 0, okay? So let's go over this really quickly. That's another kind of a quirk here. But you'll see here for 0, your first creature gets +2/+0 until the end of turn. When your first creature causes combat damage this turn, you will gain X loyalty. X is the damage dealt this way up to 10. Okay, so this one is interesting. This will be probably the primary way that you're going to be gaining loyalty. Right? Like I said, you got to have a creature down. If you have a creature down, hopefully it has double strike. So that way you'll be able to use the 2/0 buff here, get it on that creature with double strike, and then start putting some loyalty on this Planeswalker. That's going to help you with the rest of these. And, you know, you might be thinking, wait, how does that even help me? They're all 0. We'll get to that in a second. But just for now, remember that you're going to need creatures, and you're going to need to put this thing on that first creature. Hopefully it's got double strike. That's going to help you a lot. Okay, here's the next one. Today this ends. Draw a card, destroy an opposing Vanguard support. If you do, gain X loyalty and lose X life. X is half of that card's mana value rounded up. So for this one, as I've been doing a lot of the testing for this, a lot of the gameplay with this, I kind of have not yet used this one. Obviously, because it's going to require your opponent to have Vanguards out. When they have the Vanguards out, you can destroy them with this, as you've seen. But there's a small drawback here. You're going to lose life. So, you know, that in its own way kind of reduces the ability here. It kind of makes it a little less useful. And I don't know, I think for a lot of the Vanguards, as you want to destroy them, that's going to be important. There's other ways to do it besides this one. And, you know, some of those other ways are a little easier and you don't have to lose that life, right? So this one does have some uses, but just be careful. You don't want to be losing a life all the time. That's not a good way to win the game. Okay, so here's the big one. Start again. Spend all your loyalty, then apply the effects based on the amount of loyalty that you spent. Okay, so if you spent 10 loyalty or more for this one, you'll destroy the first opposing creature. If you've spent 15 or more, destroy an opposing support at random. If you've spent 20 or more, you'll gain 20 mana. And if you've spent 30 or more, deal 30 damage to your opponent. So for this, I think this is probably the best ability. Don't get me wrong, this is going to be the ability that you use the most. Down obviously is going to help you to load up with tons and tons of loyalty. And then you're just going to hopefully be able to use this, right? That's going to be one way to play this one. You'll see I kind of don't really do that with the gameplay. I've built a deck that revolves around getting tons and tons of loyalty. And that's kind of how I figure this one is going to be best played. But like I said here, these things are definitely useful. You can see there's a lot of things that you can do with it. And you know what? If you can put something together to make that something that wins games for you, then that's going to be really, really cool. You'll be able to gain a ton of loyalty with this Planeswalker, and I think that's one of the strengths here. Anyway, let's take a look at the deck. This is the deck that I've built. Now, the strength of this Planeswalker is your ability to load up with loyalty points, all right? You're going to be able to load up with loyalty points pretty easily, and what I would suggest you do is make sure you turn that into a buff or turn that into some defense or creatures or whatever, okay? And this is how I propose to do that. Now, as I mentioned earlier, you're going to have certain cards in order to make this Planeswalker work for you. The top 3 that you are seeing right here are some of the most important cards you're going to have in order to build for this Planeswalker. And I'll show you right now why that is. Elspeth Knights Errant is an interesting one for this one. I'd say it's super important to have it because you have this second ability here. Your creatures get +X and gain flying until the end of turn. X is the amount of loyalty that you have. So this one is going to be really good, obviously, with this one because you're going to have a ton of loyalty. 30 is the highest that you'll be able to have at any one time, but pretty much with this particular Planeswalker, you'll be able to pop 30 loyalty points altogether in a couple of turns. All right, so this is going to turn it into a nice buff for you. Another card I really suggest you have is this one here, Scurry of Gremlins. This is a really good one. It says here, when this support enters the board, create X Gremlins. This is what the Gremlin looks like. Nothing crazy. 2/2s, kind of nice. X is going to be equal to the amount of loyalty that you have. So, like I said, this one is easy to get together because you're going to be able to pop tons and tons of loyalty into your Planeswalker. And this one is going to help you turn those loyalty points into creatures, right? Those nice 2/2 creatures. You'll have 30 of them at max. That's really cool. Here's this other part. You can read it for yourself. It's not huge. It says, then energize Y. Y is the number of creatures that you control in total, including the reinforcements. And then, you know, if you overload one, you get a buff. So that's a small help on this. The big help here is getting those gremlins out. So a very important card if you're going to get this Aetherspark. Okay, here's the next one that I really like for Aetherspark. Another one that you kind of have to have if you want this one to be really good. This one is Desert. It says here, when a gem is converted to any color, decrease all colored mana bonuses of that player's Planeswalker by 1 until the beginning of your next turn. When the first opposing creature attacks, deal X damage to each opposing creature. X is equal to your loyalty, then destroy an opposing support card at random. So you see why I like this one a lot, right? We're going to have a ton of loyalty. We're going to have up to 30, and you'll deal damage to your opponent's creatures when they attack. So that's really cool. Your opponent's first creature is going to attack, and this is going to trigger 30 damage to all of their creatures. That's really going to help you play some good defense. Alright, now to build around that, one of the things I have to mention here is 3 Tree City. This one is important because I like to convert gems in order to make my gameplay go faster, in order for me to make sure I get things that I want faster, and all of the above. But you know what? I can't be doing all of that. I can't be converting a ton of gems because I have Desert, right? We talked about Desert. Desert will decrease mana bonuses, and you don't want that. So I like this one. This one will give you free mana. You're going to get 10 mana if you have 3 creatures that share a type in your deck. And you know what? That's something that's super important. That's something that I've incorporated here. I have Omenport Vigilante, human mercenary. Okay, so it's a human. Duelist of the Mind, another human. And the third human, Slickshot Vault Buster. You can see that there's kind of a little bit of, I guess, a theme with these. Besides the fact that they're all human, they all really make good use of the crime emblem. Alright, you can see here, at the end of your turn, if you committed a crime, this creature gets +3/+1. It's a nice good sized permanent buff. Again here, when you commit a crime, discard your hand, draw 5 cards. Every time you draw a card, you get a small buff for this guy, so that's going to help you. And this one is a nice one too. When this creature enters the battlefield, your opponent loses the crime emblem. You have the crime emblem here as well. And you know what? You got some double strike going on for you. So that's super good. Okay guys, there you go. That's the deck. Let's go and look at some gameplay footage. Oh, who is it? It's Gaussmaster. Guys, this is going to be great. Gaussmaster against Paladin Robin for the championship of the world. It's going to be a good one, guys. I hope I don't embarrass myself. And yeah, we'll see what goes on. We got to get that creature going. Like I said, if we get that creature going, and then we're going to get some good things. So let's see. This is a heavyweight fight. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a heavyweight fight. Robin plays some cards, and there's Gaussmaster. He's making some moves on those gems. Ladies and gentlemen, both fighters are feeling each other out now. We're going to see a heavyweight battle. And it looks like I'm moving some gems there. And Gaussmaster, oh no, Nico's out. This can only mean one thing, folks. Nico, you can see here, is able to create those shards. That's probably what's going to happen with Gaussmaster. You got some nasty things because this is an enchantment. You're going to get them every turn. This is going to be bad. Okay, let's take a look. What we really need to do now is make sure we get rid of Nico. And 3 Tree is out. That's good. And spin out. Nico is down, ladies and gentlemen. Nico's down. Okay, here we go. Gaussmaster's moving it again. Gaussmaster has a creature. It's a disguised creature. Elspeth looks like it's almost ready. We got another one coming. We're looking to see if we can get a creature like we talked about. There we are. Not a whole lot. And there's Gaussmaster again, putting some damage down, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my goodness. This is a heavyweight battle, and it looks like we're going to be able to play some cards here. There's a nice match and a small cascade. Elspeth is down. Slingshot. No, wait. Slickshot is out. Oh no, here it comes again. Gaussmaster's putting things down, and a Chronos Memorial. Oh my gosh. There's a big attack. Okay, now Robin is on the move. He's got some things he can use. There we go. The human soldiers are coming out. We need to make sure we use the Hands of Uncertainty. There we are. Ladies and gentlemen, wow. What an epic battle we're seeing here. Omenport Vigilante. And oh no! Slickshot is down. This is an amazing thing, folks. Gaussmaster is moving the pieces. He's on the rampage. There we are. Look at that. We're trying to see if we can get something going here. And we got to make sure we get these soldiers out. The soldiers are out. Gaussmaster doesn't look like he can block on this turn. Oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen, we are witnessing history in the making. This is going to be awesome. We're going to go not now here. Spin out. No. Omen Port Vigilante is out. This is going to be big. There's a double strike coming. There it is, a double strike. Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be a battle of attrition. Two warriors here have come to meet in the squared circle, and this looks like it's starting to shift over into Robin's favor here now. Gaussmaster, after a very, very big opening, has slowed, and he's only got this one creature now. Let's see what we can do. We're gonna hold. We're at some point going to get rid of that. But this is a tremendous battle here. There we are. We have those gremlins coming out. This battle here, folks, has been taking a heck of a turn. Oh my goodness, look what we have here. This could change the battle. Let's see if Gaussmaster can get some defense going. There's the vigilance. And he's putting back life on himself. That's great. That's exactly what needs to happen. Can Robin do something here? We're going to have to see. Oh no, Robin totally forgot to hit that ability up here. But he can still do it now. There we are. And here we go. We're making the creatures stronger, folks. There we go. Another buff. And we have a double striker here and some big damage coming. Ladies and gentlemen, this is definitely the turning point of the battle here. There's some damage, a big shot, another big shot, and a really big shot. Oh my gosh, Gaussmaster is on the ropes, ladies and gentlemen. Follow the bodies, that's incredible. Follow the bodies. It looks like Gaussmaster is on his way back. There's Nico again. Oh my goodness. Ladies and gentlemen, this is history in the making for the championship of the world. This is looking like it's going to be something bad. Oh no, knowledge is power, and assemble the players. It looks like Gaussmaster has for himself a nasty combo. Can Robin turn this thing around? He has a spin out in his hand. That's going to be big. Oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen. We are seeing a battle. Two champions, two warriors going at it here. Toe to toe, face to face. There's a nice cascade. And there's Robin making moves. This one looks like it's going to be the end, folks. There it is. And Nico is spun out. Oh no, what's Robin doing? Top ropes. Here it comes. The elbow drop. 1, 2, 3. That's it, folks. New champion. New champion. Folks, I hope you enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe. Share with all your friends. That really helps the channel. Good gaming, guys. Gaussmaster, we got a rematch.